All right. Good afternoon, evening, morning, everybody. Whenever you get a chance to read this, I will be brief. I just want to go over just the last bit of ideas that I've put on our Pinterest board. Again, the goal just being to fill your toolbox with all kinds of tips and tricks and ideas that you can pull out at any time throughout your teacherness. Again, this board will be here as long as Pinterest lets us, and then I'm always available by email if you ever have a question or an issue. I'd be more than happy to help. So hang on to my email and the way to get onto this board, and we will just continue to be a resource for you guys. Briefly, this week I want to go over just the 5 elements that I teach in my theater classrooms. And that is observation, concentration, relaxation, imagination, and movement. So just those are kind of the 5 basic qualities that we start all of our acting classes with. And so I've used that as kind of a guide for this week's ideas. And the first being just kind of some games to play in the classroom, whether it's a brain break when you just see the kids kind of eyes glaze over and they need just a chance to kind of get up and move around, and where you get right back to your lesson, or it's a transition from one thing to the other. Just studies have shown that it's much easier for kids to actually make that transition when there is something in place. It could be something as simple as a song or a game. A yoga pose, just something to kind of help their mind to shut down and then move on to the next thing. So starting the first one being just ways to get started with doodling in the classroom. Again, this is for some of our older students. But again, there's all kind of research to back up how information is retained in the brain. And for some students, that's with kinesthetic responses, with actually, they're listening and they're paying attention and they're absorbing the information because their hands are busy, and just how that contributes to success in the classroom. Some observation games that you can play. Again, great, fast, simple, easy things that you can do to start a lesson, to end a lesson. If you just have a few minutes left before the bell, you can throw in some of this stuff. Again, the kids think they're playing games, but it's actually something that is going to help them. The tissue dance is hilarious. I've seen it done with kindergarten, and they just have an absolute blast, and it is so funny for you to watch. It's difficult to stay focused because they're so goofy and funny. But again, just kind of helps them with focus and concentration if they need a break from whatever is going on. Again, some ideas for brain breaks. Don't pay, again, for anything. I believe this is the Teacher Pay Teacher site, but there are still some ideas you can get from it without paying any money. Some movement breaks, and then some kind of focus and relaxation exercises that you can employ in your classroom. Again, kind of going back to mindfulness and the push now for students to be more introspective when they get upset or when they get overwhelmed, and ways that they can deal with that. I found this kind of fun infographic just with a few more ideas of integrating arts in the classroom. That is your last project with us, is to find something like this. So I will continue to give you a few ideas, and then I'll outline a little bit later here in a second. This blog is great. Just again, kind of some ways to switch things up, make it fun and exciting. I've had friends who've taught forever, and they've joined our Pinterest board just to kind of get something new. The more that you do it, the less fun it is. And so just finding little ways that you can add just something silly to your classroom and fun is almost as beneficial for you as it is the kiddos. Again, not all at once, but just slowly kind of make it a goal to do maybe 1 or 2 every 9 weeks. And then just build. The longer that you teach, the more that you will have at the ready. There's all kind of YouTube channels that have videos to lead in some of the brain breaks. So if you have access to that in your classroom, students don't, not all of them are something that you have to see. A lot of them are just songs that will kind of lead your children through some movement before you switch on to the next activity. Again, a little bit more ideas. Another website that has incredible resources that are all free. It's First Grade Wow. Everything that she shares is completely free. Just all kind of games and activities and handouts, almost anything you could use in the classroom. Hers is specifically for first grade, but they can all be adapted. So it's a really great resource to use moving forward. This infographic is great for older kids. Again, just often you'll end up with a few minutes left in class, just using that time constructively. A transition to circle time. Again, so many videos on YouTube that help with this or will even lead students through it. So that is what I need you to do. So kind of in line with your lesson plan, which I need by the end of today, Wednesday, December 5th. I need you to hurry and get that to me if you have not already, but in line with something that you have chosen for your lesson plan. I need you to find a resource online. So it needs to be a pin, or it needs to be a website that details a game, or it needs to be a YouTube video that outlines something relevant to whatever you chose for your lesson. I need you to email that to me. That is how I will take attendance for this last week of class. So go back through your lesson plan, find something online. Again, a website, an article backing up the research, a video that goes in line with what you've been doing, either informational for the teacher or something that can help students. It can be an introductory video. It can just be kind of something getting them up as a transition, moving from maybe your music lesson to your art lesson. It can be, again, a pin on Pinterest. So whatever resource you find, I need you to email to me in the next week, and that is how I will take attendance for this class. So send me a link to the pin, send me a link to the video, send me a link to the article or the website anytime in the next week, and that is how I will take attendance for this last little bit of class. If you will title it Project 4, that way we will stay all nice and organized. I am still responding to some of your lesson plans. Those are awesome. I'm in the process of creating a Dropbox that I will also link to our Pinterest. So you can go in and see some of your classmates' work, because I think that'll be really helpful to you guys. This is good. I have a good friend who teaches third grade, and she starts every morning with yoga. Her students come in, put up their backpacks, and immediately get into child's pose. That's down on your knees with your hands flexed out in front of you. She uses that time to connect with her students. She just turns on a piece of music, something kind of soft and instrumental, and that is when she goes, Cameron, I love your hair. You know, Jonathan, 3 days till your birthday, and like physically lays a hand on all of her students and encourages them for the day ahead. And she's just found it's just a really constructive way to start the day and have them transition out from the craziness of getting up and getting ready to being prepared to learn. And then she'll lead them through kind of some yoga poses, all with the themes of animals. So it's things that they can kind of understand what they're doing physically. So there's some resources for you here and there. But again, observation, concentration, relaxation, imagination, and movement is kind of our theme for this last meeting. And everything I found so far kind of in the top third of your Pinterest, there's exercises to lead you through that. Again, a brain break, a transition, or just something that you can pull out in relation to your lessons. So please let me know if you have questions about any of these. You need some clarification or ways to apply it specifically to your classroom. That is what I am here for. Even when the semester is over, please feel free to email me. I would love to help. Again, this Pinterest board will stay on. I need your lesson plan by the end of today, and then sometime before next Wednesday. Your final, again, is at 7:30 on campus. If you will just send me the link to a resource that you will use or could use in relation to your lesson plan. It can be art, it can be music, it can be drama. But just something, a video, a game, an article, a website, something that goes in line with your lesson plan. If you will email me those, and I will get the links posted here on Pinterest, and we will go from there. Again, I want to thank you guys for the crazy of this semester between Halloween and Thanksgiving and honoring President Bush. It's just been absolute craziness, and then trying to deal with the internet and the Zoom. I just appreciate you guys for putting up with all of it. I hope something from the last 3 weeks will fit in your toolbox that you can pull out later. That's just the goal of this course. I've told so many of my friends that I'm teaching it. They're jealous. I wish they had something like this in undergrad, just really kind of to provide that sounding board for things to do. Again, I don't care how long you've been teaching it. It gets boring if you don't find ways to mix it up. And it's especially fun with those littles. Just the things that they come up with are mind-blowing and so entertaining. So please let me know if you have questions or issues. I look forward to your lesson plan and then your final project. Again, please send me questions or issues going into this last week. I will send you kind of as we get closer to the end and I start receiving those last projects, I will send out a grade sheet so you can see your progress for your time with me these last 3 weeks. So as you get that, please let me know. Again, if you have a question moving forward. Otherwise, Pinterest board is here. I will continue to add to it. I will add the things that you send for your final project. I will link the Dropbox that has all of the classroom ideas. Just please continue to use this as a resource. Anything that you can find online, there's, again, all kinds of really great stuff on YouTube. Don't reinvent the wheel. Don't spend any money. And just find ways to have fun with your kiddos. So thank you for these last 3 weeks, for your attention, for your energy, and your ideas. And I wish you the best of luck. Thank you guys so much for a great semester. Stay tuned for emails just to remind you about the final project, your final, and then, like I said, I will send that grade sheet. So thank you guys so much. Please let me know if you have questions or issues going into the end of the semester or at any point in your teaching this. I would love to help. Again, thank you and have a great holiday.